tends to slouch, but if I make her stack up, yeah, she's a little higher in the rear. And I never really paid any attention to it before because I take a one comb to her. But yeah, if I was gonna use her for a grooming competition, then we're gonna leave more hair in the center of her back right here over this area. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna come straight in, and her rump is gonna be shorter. So I would literally do just that.
And it's already more ruffled. Yeah.
I would just take off straight across, straight up, just straight across like it. Don't curve around the sides yet, because you need it. You want a nice little round rump, and if you curve off the sides, you'll lose that.
You're not thinking about how much you're taking off. You're just taking off like a little bit at a time.
With experience, yeah. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to level her top line.
Okay.
So in order for me to do that and create the illusion that she doesn't have a dip in her back, I have to take a certain amount off of her rump area here in order to make it even with this.
And she's not bouncing. Watch the wrist actually. Her head's going straight.
Yeah, if you bounce, you change the length of your scissors every time you move. You do that. So you're cutting in a different spot every time. Lock your elbow and lock your wrist. And then you can move your whole arm all you want, because these are the things that are in control of the scissors. So you can create a lot of things with hair if you know what you're doing.
And you're using straight shear, but you could use curve or not really?
You can.
Yeah.
I like to use straights for anything I want to be really straight and flat, because it's just easier for me. But you'll notice that everything else I do will be with the curves. I even do the legs and stuff with the curves. I do top lines, and I do down the sides of poodle top knots. I use straights for that. There's a few things.
Maybe an underline?
Yeah, maybe an underline on a terrier, because it's easier to just go just like that and make it a straight angle. So I really didn't take much hair right here with this dip behind the withers, and I just took off her butt, and now she looks like she's got a nice level top line. That make sense? So the other thing we're gonna do, because she looks really short and dumpy because she's kind of chubby, we're gonna take off a bunch of hair under here on her chest. As much as I don't like to bring up other competition groomer names, Lindsay Dickin is a really, really good, awesome Bichon groomer. She got her Bichons from Liz Paul, who was one of the top groomers in the country from the beginning, years and years and years ago. And she had one Bichon that had so much chest. He wasn't fat. He just had so much chest that she took a 5-blade down the center underneath, because otherwise he looked short and dumpy because his chest came down that far.
One behind you, underneath that man hanging from the ceiling.
What?
The wall.
Oh. I'm like, what? There's a man hanging from the ceiling? What's happening? What's going on? Okay. And I'm gonna do the detail stuff around the face. If you guys wanna scooch up, or if you wanna come up so you can see. This is really, really important with Bichons. I'm gonna have her facing me, so can you see her in the mirror? Okay, good. Let's do that. Because what that does is that creates a point for you to see the black under the nose, and it creates a visual point for you to look at. It also shows off their black pigmentation.
Like the inner nostril?
Yep, right underneath here.
I think
good way to get in the kiss.
That's, I call it the kissy face. Yep, I do it with Shih Tzus and Lhasas and all of those. Even my new ones, they don't like it because they've never had it done before, but I start doing it with them immediately.
Yeah.
Hold still. The other thing is that hair grows down and it gets and it wraps around their teeth and it causes their teeth to rot out.
Yeah.
So, and you know, when I have a really big hairy dog too, sometimes I come right in here and I clean off this stuff underneath, like right next to the lip, because they pull it in and they wrap it around.
As soon as I pull it out, they pull it right back in, and they pull it right back
Yeah,
in.
you literally have to.
You have to be
Izzy's
quick.
really tolerant. You literally have to grab their whole lip like this,
Oh.
so they can't get away from you.
See, that'll change it.
Yeah, and then you can get in there and do it. And she's very tolerant. She's used to me messing with her because I've had her for a while.
Yeah.
But the other thing that you want to do is you want to take out all around the whole entire eye. So don't freak out. Don't everybody suck in your breath when I do this, because everybody does.
Oh. Is that a 30?
Yep. Shave right around the outside corner of the eye like that. Now, not much came off because I just did her on Thursday. I was trying to keep the hair out of her eyes. But again, the whole point of that, they're supposed to have a large round eye, so that makes them look like they have a much larger, rounder eye, and it also keeps that hair
Out of their
their eyeballs. And it contributes to their expression. But 99.5% of dogs will close their eye the minute you get near it with your finger or with the clippers. Watch. See?
And that's just safer.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah. They just, it's automatic.
Yeah.
Like, you do it too.
Uh-huh.
If somebody comes near
Yeah,
you, you
you're
go
gonna
like
close
that.
your eye. Yeah.
Yep. So most of the time, that will happen when you trim around their eye like that. If they're not used to it, take your finger like I did at first so you guys wouldn't panic, and stick it near the eye and just pinch it closed like that. And then most of the time, most dogs are just like, eh, whatever, what are you doing, lady? Because they're used to being groomed. But some dogs will fuss with you about it, you know, but just keep trying every time you see them, and eventually they'll let you do it.
Yeah.
And then I clean out just the very, very corner of the eye right here.
So you're just doing the top of the eye as well?
Yep, I'm doing the whole, around the whole entire eye.
Okay.
If the eye is closed, you can run that clipper right, the very tip of your clipper right across the edge, and takes the top and the bottom, and it opens the eye right up. Boop.
Bing.
So then the other thing we want to do, because they're supposed to have a nice long neck. Watch your feet. Got it. This is basically equivalent to a 5, which is what I like to use. If you don't have any neck, really short neck, you can do a 7, as long as you're not, you know, really showing skin. But we're gonna do basically the same as like we do with the Westie. This is a throat latch. We're gonna take this out underneath here in a U shape, just underneath the jaw. So if you take your finger and go back as far as it'll go with your thumb, that's where her head actually starts. And you're just gonna do a little U shape underneath here. Like so. And then see, when you trim that back, you're gonna create more neck. And then we're also gonna go ahead and take her chest out with it, because she's got plenty of underneath. Don't take this stuff.
It's the equivalent of a 5.
It's a 5, yeah.
And then
I find that almost all I ever use now are combs.
Yep.
I hardly ever use blades for anything except for poodle faces and
Shave down.
the occasional, yeah, and even then I don't have those much anymore, thank goodness.
dude,
Except
all
for-
it looks like all of your snap-on combs already have 30s on them.
Yep.
That's cool. That's
Yep.
what a
That's
good
a good
idea.
If
idea.
you
What a
can,
great
if you can
idea.
invest and do that,
You are so smart.
number one, you're not
I'm
gonna
telling you.
wear your combs out, taking them on and off.
And it's quicker. You
And
don't have
then,
to fiddle with
yeah,
anything.
you don't have to fiddle with anything. You just pick up your next comb and stick
You're
it
gonna
on.
Drop
just
more
like you
combs
would a
trying to
blade.
put them on or take them off. Then
That's-
Yep.
smart.
Yeah, you don't stretch the springs
Yeah.
out. I've had this set, and like I said, I hardly ever use blades anymore. I've had this set for 3 years.
Wow.
including
Now,
the
with
ones I
Arturo, you
use
have
all
to
the time.
write on there what the length is, unless you just
I'm
memorize.
just so used
You
to
know
it.
Oh,
She
you
knows.
memorize.
It's in the
it.
same spot in my trailer every single day, and I know exactly where everything is.
Is that a 2?
And additionally, this is a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the one past the 2.
Oh, got it.
Yep, and then this one's even shorter. That's closer to like a 7 or a 9 once you get your blade underneath
Yeah.
there.